beautiful and lovely friends. This is Miriam again. It's been such a long time that I haven't talked to you guys, so I missed you guys. It's been about 2 years that I haven't posted any videos, and so many of you guys ask me what am I doing, why I'm not posting any videos on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, you name it. You guys are awesome and lovely. Anyways, so I want to give you a little bit update about myself, and I'm going to get to the topic of today, which is nursing school versus medical school. So as so many of you guys that know me and follow me and watch my videos and like my videos, you guys are awesome. I was a nurse. Well, I'm technically still a nurse. I don't practice nursing anymore though. So I graduated 2013. I worked about a year, about actually 2 years at the ER, and then I got accepted to medical school. So already I am at the end of the first year of medical school. So what happened that I decided to go to medical school? I always wanted to learn more. And I remember I got frustrated by not knowing why things are happening. I remember I asked my teachers, maybe 1 or 2 teachers, that, hey, why after MI patients get arrhythmias? I couldn't understand that. And I was just like, oh, it's too hard for me to memorize that. I want to know why they're getting it, because if I know why they're getting it, then I will probably remember it forever. So it was kind of those things that made me still start thinking about a grad school, either nurse practitioner or medical school. So when I started working at the ER, we had nurse practitioners that they worked at the ER too. So I started asking them, there's always pros and cons. They were like, well, you can literally graduate as a nurse practitioner with 0 loans. You can get your ADN and make good money, which is associated degree in nursing. You can start making by 40, sometimes 50 and 60s, and then you can get your bachelor's, and hospital is going to pay for your education, and you don't have to worry about any loans. And then you can make anywhere from $80,000 to $110,000 per year, and almost very, very low responsibility compared to the MDs or doctors. And the lifestyle is good, you know, basically it's a good lifestyle. There are some actually cons as well, which means that you cannot practice by your own. You kind of think, oh my god, I know this much, but I still have to work under the license of the doctor. And I know 2 nurse practitioners that they actually open the pain clinic by themselves, but as hideous as it sounds, they hired a neurologist to actually work with them, because literally they cannot work with their license. They have to have a doctor's in order to work. So they hired a neurologist to actually be partner in this process with them. So it has some frustrations, and then I asked her about how much she knows and how much she feels confident working, and she was like, well, I don't feel confident working by myself at the ER, and I don't blame her. ER is crazy. So she was like, well, I still think that there are so many points that I have to ask doctors, which is kind of true. Like, they get like way more education than a nurse practitioner, obviously, so they have to know more, right? And they get a little bit more money. And believe it or not, the money is not that different. For example, pediatricians, they make 150, and nurse practitioners make 110. So for a person who have already $200,000 and $250,000 loans, and then by the time that she or he is going to pay that loans, it will be close to $400,000. And then besides, for all of those times that that person didn't work, the nurse practitioner worked, you know. So it's they call it $1 million mistakes. That's another topic. But so it has like really good pros and cons. But then again, I start thinking by myself, and I thought, you know what, I like studying, and I don't mind being at school. I like to go to the depths of the material. So I thought medical school would be a good transition for me. So I, right after graduation, I start working full-time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. I know, it's so nuts. And then I went to school on Tuesday, Thursdays to finish the prerequisite. I was super lucky. I got accepted by my first trial. I took the MCAT, and then I got accepted, and here we are. So that was about me. I want to compare nursing school versus medical school. So I think you guys already will know about how long is medical school, how long is nursing school. So I will not talk about the things that you can Google and find the answer. I'm going to talk about my experience, which might be your experience as well, and which might not be. That's the beauty of different videos on the YouTube. So we will be able to see other people's experiences, and we will be able to express things that you might not find it by Googling. So I think you can find that nursing school is 4 years, medical school is a bachelor, which is 4 years, and then another 4 years to get MD, and you still cannot practice. You have to go to residency, which is from 3 years all the way to, I'm gonna say 8 years. So it's a crazy, crazy studying. It's never ending studying, literally. But I want to talk about different things. So the experience that I had in the nursing school was, they were a little bit harsh with nursing students. They were not as nice as people that are in the medical school. In medical school, all the staffs and teachers, they treat you almost like you're their colleagues. It's with so much respect, and they respect your privacy, they respect your time, they respect your schedule. They will like, okay, you can come to classes if you want. If you don't want to come to classes, good, don't come to classes. If you do any mistakes, they were like, oh, we understand, like, we will do that. There are so many free lunches almost every day. Oh my god, that's the best part of medical school. So many organizations gives you free lunch. They invited you so many places. Like, it's a very different experience. I remember, I have a good example of why I feel like they respect you more in medical school than nursing school, which is kind of sad, because I feel like I'm the same person, so I deserve same kind of respect, right? I hope I learned something from 2013 to 2015, which I got accepted to medical school, but I can say that I'm the same person, and I feel like I deserve the same kind of respect at least. The very first day of nursing school, in the orientation, there was a lady that she told us that, there is this test, we call it dosage calculation. Basically, you have to calculate the dose of the medicine according to the patient weights, and if you cannot pass it, you are out of nursing school in a week. And we all look at each other, you're like so nervous, you're like, oh, we just got accepted here, now you're kicking us out. So it was like very intense, and I didn't really like that comment, because it was like, we passed the entrance exam, now we were in the waiting list, whatever, now you're here, now you're telling me I'm done if I cannot pass that test. But the very, very first day in the medical school, our president came and he was just like, okay, guys, look at each other. If any of you guys fail on the first test in the medical school, worst case scenario, you are going to become a cardiologist, a very good one, and you are going to become a president of one medical school, like me. So we all are feeling relaxed. Okay, so it's okay if we fail one test, it's not the end of the world, they are here to help us. And this attitude actually comes in the second year, third years, and so forth. But unfortunately, in nursing school, the people don't let you, like, they don't expect you to do any mistakes, and they are kind of, I'm gonna use that word, sometimes they are mean. Like, I hope I'm not the only one who feels like that, because that would be very awkward. But I think there are plenty of the nurses that they feel like their teachers are kind of mean, or the nurses sometimes in the hospital that they teach them, they are kind of mean. So I think they start seeding these kind of meanness in the nursing school, you know, and I think they have to start being a little bit nicer and a little bit more understandable when they work with the students. And then maybe later on in the future, when you go to the workplaces, people still remember that being nice is not out of style. And still we have these integrated sessions with nursing school. I think their teachers are still kind of, you know, compared to our teacher, whenever we do mistakes, we order like wrong medication in those scenarios, shock scenarios or whatever. I mean, as a doctor, we play a role of the doctors, and nurses play the role of the nurses. And sometimes we do horrible mistakes there. We literally kill the patient, we literally kill the mannequin, and they're like, oh, that's why we have these things. It's all about practicing. That's why we call it practice. Don't worry, you're gonna get it fun one day. And then on the nursing part, I remember there was a poor nurse that so it was a shock scenario. So I ordered oxygen 6 liter, and the poor girl put the nasal cannula instead of non-breathable mask, because you know when you go above 2 you have to use the mask. And then the teacher was like, you are graduating, you still don't know this and that. Okay, calm down, like, it's okay, it's not the end of the world, it's okay, she doesn't know that, she's gonna learn it one day. Like, why you're talking like that? It was just like, oh, remembering all of those craziness. But I loved my nursing colleagues and nursing classmates so much. I am still in touch with many of them, if not all of them. In medical school, it's not like that. You don't have that much time. People are super competitive, and sometimes that hindered your relationship. If someone is super competitive, you cannot really have that much of a relationship. Anyway, I hope that helps some of you guys. Next time, I would like to talk about the different ways that you can go to the medical school. Since so many of you guys ask me if I feel like going to the nursing and then medical school did help me in this journey or not. So if you guys have any questions, please actually email me or text me. I will try to actually make a video, and I would always enjoy watching your videos. And lastly, I like to sketch. As you can see some of my sketches there. It's the way that I handle my stress. In fact, I have an Instagram account, a sketchy doc, which I post some of my sketching and some of my medical notes. I would love to see yours. So if you actually emailed me one, I might put it on my Instagram, and I will add you. I will hashtag you or @ you, and I would love to see them. Anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching. Like always, take care. And that's my kitty cat sleeping there like always on my laptop.